humans, how you all doing? I hope you're doing great. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video. Today we'll be talking about a somewhat serious subject, witchcraft, or more specifically, spellcasting, or how to write a spell. Think of like Harry Potter, or Charmed, or The Craft. You know, witchcraft, spellcasting. I got a wand right here. This is, I believe, Snape's wand from Harry Potter. I also had Voldemort's wand, but I don't know where I put it. And I don't care that I said his name, Voldemort. What am I going to get in trouble? But anyway, today our teacher will be Eadig. Is that how you pronounce your name? Hi, Eadig.
Hey, I'm Eadig. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, Eadig. Hope you're doing great.
Today I want to teach you guys how to write a spell.
I got my trusty pen and notepad. So cute. I got a pen. I got my wand. Let's do this.
When you think about it, words have the power to either create or destroy. Words have the power to either create or destroy.
I'm 7 seconds in this video and I'm already noping the fuck out. You do realize that words aren't physical, right? Words are more like abstract concepts for communication between one person to another and not actual physical things.
So basically, if you say something good, it can really help something. Or if you say something bad, so if you say something, negative, it can really break something down.
I understand the whole words can hurt phenomenon, but it's more of a emotional and psychological effect than it is physical. And that's due to the conceptual way we contextualize those words, if that's making any sense. So in reality, what you just said, Eadig, doesn't really make any sense. At least from my point of view. But let's continue on.
Also, when you think of affirmations, affirmations are pretty much spells when you think about it. You really tell yourself that something's going to happen and you hope for it to happen. That in its own is a spell. So when you write spells, you can either use rhyming or alliteration. For rhymes, in the past, when spell work and witchcraft was abolished, witches would tell each other these spells and everything, and they would have them rhyme so that you could remember, so that they could remember the spell and pass it on to other people.
The reason why witchcraft was abolished, they were living at a time where pretty much people didn't know anything about anything, and anything useful that they had no understanding about, they deemed it magic. Like, for example, this phone, or this little gadget I have that connects my phone, or this thing right here, my other phone. If I were to go back into like 1247 AD and show them my stuff, my phone, people are going to think of me as like a witch or something, being able to do all this weird magic shit, having weird people on here, like...
If you say something good, it can really help something.
This video... magic more or less is just tricks and illusions. And sometimes people can get fooled by that. And go back a few hundred years ago, people will legit think you're doing magic. And that's not how it works. People feel what they don't understand, and if they see something they deem magic, and they're living at a time when most people believe in magic and believe that, witchcraft is evil, despite the fact that there is no evidence of witchcraft or magic in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna get people, angry at you and probably hanging you. But anyway, back to the lesson. I still got my notepad. Let's continue on learning how to write a spell with Eadig.
So when they passed it on to other people, they would remember it because it rhymed, because it had this catchy phrase. Whenever you think of slogans or something, commercials or something, you remember them, or songs, you remember them because they rhyme or because they're catchy.
Humans are pattern seekers and detectors, and music usually tends to have a pattern. And if you can figure out this pattern, you can figure out what notes go into what, and what beats people like. I'm not exactly knowledgeable in music, but I do know that there's a lot of stuff in it that can be applied and used, which is why it does a lot of commercials and stuff, which you even mentioned. So, that little jingle, like, trying to think of a commercial. J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. I have an annuity and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth. It's catchy. It's because of the whole thing. I can't think of the name, but I understand why. But that's mainly because we're pattern seekers.
They're flowy, and also with the catchiness, with the flow of the rhyme, it helps with the power. It helps empower this entire spell because it just completely flows throughout the spell.
It's not magic. You can go to school and learn this kind of stuff, or you can just learn this stuff online. Music has no magical qualities in any way, shape, or form. You can go and study this stuff. It's an actual science, which means it's not magic in any way, shape, or form.
So when you're writing a spell, you also have to remember to protect yourself. Be aware of the negative effects of the spell that the spell might have, and protect yourself from it by writing that into your spell, by writing something that says, hey, I don't want this to happen, so don't let it happen, that sort of thing. It really depends on the topic of the spell and the type of spell that you want to empower.
How does it power the spell, Eadig? What mechanisms are you using to determine that it is able to do such a thing that you're claiming it can do? I'm curious, because you just say it can do it, but you're not exactly explaining how it can do it, or anything like that. I'm just curious as to why that is. I mean, it doesn't really prove your point or anything. In fact, it makes your case even worse, at least from my understanding.
So an example of a rhyming spell is one that I wrote in order to keep snorers at bay that slept next to me. It's snorers be as snorers sleep, and this snorer's jubilee, so mote it be.
Eadig, I can be arrogant at times, but I'm not so arrogant that I think that I can make the universe bend to my will by rhyming and saying a few spells. That's not how it works. I'm fixing my stuff. Oops.
Sometimes, obviously, it's not going to happen right away, but that's to empower the spell, to encase all of the magic that you had, all of everything that you had in the beginning of the spell, and make sure that actually happens. It all comes together and folds together and manifests into the desire that you would like it to be.
I can be very arrogant at times, but at least I'm not so arrogant that I think I can make the universe bend to my whim by casting a spell and rhyming, or singing a song, or something. Who do you think is more arrogant? The person who says, I can't do that, or the person who says they can? You're almost as bad as when creationists say that God answers their prayers and they personally talk to God every day, and they hear his voice and everything, when in reality, they don't. They're either just hearing voices, or it's just coincidences, really, and the prayers aren't really being answered. It's probably just like counting the hits and ignoring the misses.
So, thinking about the structure of the spell, snorers be as snorers sleep. That is the snorer themselves. That's the person that I would like to stop snoring. And then I go to end the snorer's jubilee. That is the intent that I want to have, the reason that I'm doing the spell, to stop that snoring.
You know, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan, I can never say his name fully correctly. You know, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, believed in fairies, and he insisted on the day he died that fairies existed, pretty much. And he was actually fooled by, I can't remember who did it, but they pretty much took a picture of cutouts of fairies and fooled him, pretty much. And despite being fooled, he still claims that that hoax was real. Just a little funny fact I wanted to throw out there, you know, because hey, why not? Also, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle really believed that Harry Houdini had actual magical powers and believed that he could teleport and a whole bunch of other stuff. Even when Harry Houdini himself explained and showed him how his tricks worked, he still insisted and believed that Harry Houdini could do magic. Somebody known for creating one of the most talented fictional minds in the world. Who knows? Then again, Sir Isaac Newton, you know, the guy who is labeled as the inventor of gravity, the label of gravity and the concept of it and everything. He was really into alchemy, you know, turning lead into gold and all that shit. He actually died drinking, I think it was either ingesting or drinking mercury. But anyway, he died from mercury poisoning. Another fun fact.
It's that simple. It's that simple. You could write a longer spell. You could have spells that could require other things. I mean, this is for mostly incantations, but you can also have spells that require other things. There are certain symbols that you can inscribe into a spell. You can use a candle, and that can help you with the spell.
My brother Josh actually makes candles. I actually got a couple here. Okay, I got this candle right here. It's nice. And I got this candle right here. It's nice, but I accidentally broke it. He has an Instagram page for his candles that he makes. Oh My Jar. I'll put the link in the description box below if you guys want to follow and get one of these candles that looks like a delicious cupcake. Smells good too, but I can't eat it. Now I'm tempted. Send Sam to sleep.
Them too. They can ask for the power of gods and goddesses.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Or help from gods and goddesses. They can ask for help from other beings such as fairies or elves. It really depends on what you need.
Magic isn't real. I used to watch the TV show Charmed growing up. You know, Phoebe, Piper, Prue, and then Paige later on. And I loved it. I watched the movie The Craft. I watched several shows and movies with witches and stuff like Halloween Town. I loved it. And even though I was young, and even though I really liked Cole, and I hated Phoebe's guts and the way that she treated Cole, even though I'll admit that the show was fake. It had special effects, it had makeup, it had practical effects, and I knew it was fiction. My headphone fell out. And I knew it was fiction, with actors and makeup and all that stuff. Eadig. Charmed isn't real. Just because they rebooted the series doesn't mean that magic is confirmed. I'm just making this clear. I'm sorry if you think I'm a downer and everything because I'm saying all this stuff, but you're buying into things that aren't true, that you can't prove in any way, shape, or form, and you're spreading these lies and misinformation, trying to make money. There are ads and stuff on your account, on your channel, and I understand you're trying to make a living and everything, and you're passionate about this stuff. That's fine, but you're stating this stuff as factual and truthful, when in reality, none of it can be demonstrated by you in any way, shape, or form. I've watched several of your videos. I've seen you do some stuff about spells. I've been on your websites and social media links. On one hand, I think you actually genuinely believe this, and you're also trying to make money with something that you genuinely believe. And I'm okay with that. But again, spreading lies and misinformation, I'm going to point that shit out.
But remember, the internal structure of the spell is kind of like a poem. If you're very good at poetry, then you will be very good at spell writing, at spell working, because it's basically a poem.
I am not good at poems. Crap.
So mote it be that encases the power of that spell and makes it happen and pushes it into the universe and says, this is going to happen. So you can also use alliteration for spells, and you could, if you wanted to, you could put a rhyming spell and an alliteration all together.
Do you know what epistemology is? It's the study of knowledge, or how we know what is true. It's the study of how we know what is true and from what is false, pretty much. That's the basic layman's definition I can say at the top of my head at random at 5:30 in the morning.
An example of this is, I'll say an example of an alliteration spell, or something using alliteration. It could be 7 seconds of silence sends Sam to sleep. Basically, that's everything that you want to happen in this spell. 7 seconds of silence sends Sam to sleep. Everything that you want to happen is right there.
People think that words have magical properties, when in reality, we know that they don't. You can't make a spell, zim zabba vim, with a wand or anything, and boom, cancer is cured. It doesn't work like that, because if it did, we'd actually have knowledge about this and we'd be able to study it and do further research on this type of stuff. But there isn't. There are so many foundations and stuff in which you can actually try to prove and demonstrate your claims. All the knowledge that humanity collectively has contained right now that we know of says words don't have magical properties. You can't change the world or the universe with saying a spell.
It really depends on exactly what you want to happen, how long you want it to happen, how fast you want it to happen, or how much power that you want to imbue in this spell.
I made a video about a woman named Rhonda Harris who claims to be a witch practitioner herself and an actual witch with magical powers. No joke. And she believed that she could create energy balls. I made a video a little while ago, a few years ago, pretty much, mocking her because of the fact that she can't, even though she claims to, and she's making money off of these claims and shit. She couldn't demonstrate it in any way, shape, or form, neither could anybody else do it, except the only time anybody was able to make any type of energy ball or sideball is when they used computer effects. It's when they used some type of software, like Adobe After Effects, or Premiere Pro, or Vegas, or something like that.
So that is another correspondence that really depends on what you want to happen.
I'm not trying to insult you, Eadig, or anybody who believes in this stuff. Because wouldn't it be cool if magic was real and the supernatural existed and fairies and elves and goddesses and stuff? That would be nice. I'd be fine with that. Shit, I'd learn some magic right now if I could. But unfortunately, there is no evidence. And if there is no evidence, there's no reason for you to believe anything. If you have no evidence of something, and the only way you can demonstrate any type of evidence in any way, shape, or form is through other claims or from hearsay, I will not accept it. And I'll probably mock you for it if you say something about it and claim it to be true. Until you can legitimately demonstrate under reasonable scientific conditions to monitor and try to study and falsify the claims that you're trying to, claim are true and accurate to reality, don't claim it. Don't fucking preach it and try to make money and income from it. Don't try to scam others out of that hard-earned money because you want to make a paycheck.
In the spell. This video itself is just for writing the spell itself, but you can add other things to it. Spells can also be longer if you want.
You seem like a very intelligent person, Eadig. I'm not mocking you in any way, shape, or form about that. I'm just simply saying that what you're claiming doesn't make any sense with reality. And if you would like it to make sense with reality, you can go under scientific testing and get it demonstrated that it is true and falsifiable, I guess.
It's something easily to remember, something that can be long or short, but it also has your intent imbued in the spell from beginning.
Because if magic were real, we know about it for 100% fact. There wouldn't be no need for ambulances or chemotherapy or I can't really think of anything really. But there would be so much things that we could be able to do with magic if there was actually magic, but there isn't. Because there's no evidence for it.
Other things that can make spells more powerful is the days of the week that you cast them. Sunday through Saturday, each of these days have different correspondences, different help.
We know words can't heal like a good amount of medicine can. If I hear, oh, you have to believe in it in order for the spell to manifest in reality, bullshit. That's what scam artists try to say. Believe in this and it'll work, but only if you believe in it. That is the most ridiculous shit to even say. I'm not saying you're saying it, but people do say it. Oh, the only way the spell will work is if you believe in the spell. Or the only way your prayer would work to God is if you believe that the prayer will work to God. Or the only way your child will be cured of leukemia is if you pray to the fairies in a specific way on your tippy toes at night during a full half moon. It's nonsense. I don't have to believe that gravity, which is pulling everybody and everything at 9.8 meters per second square towards the center of the earth at all times, at least for Earth anyway. I don't have to believe that in order to know that's a fact, because it is a fact. I don't have to believe that a nuclear device dropped off in Hiroshima is going to hurt somebody. I don't have to believe that in order for it to affect me. Because if I do believe in it and it doesn't affect me, I might be wrong. But if I don't believe it and it does affect me, who's wrong here? Usually scam artists and con men try to do the whole believe it it'll work crap. When so many people are dying right now from illnesses and disease and believing that X will have an effect, when every case of a parent who does not take their child to a medical facility to get their child health care, and because they believe that a god or the cosmos or fairies or magic or Zeus or something, some mystical substance that they can't present and demonstrate will heal the child, when all cases, every single time, unless that child was able to somehow go into remission, somehow that child will die. And those parents end up in court. And it sucks. It's heartbreaking having a child dying. That's awful. A parent losing their child. That's one of the worst things imaginable, to be a parent and having that. I understand that you believe in these things, but your beliefs has consequences, and the more you believe things that aren't true, the more things that you can be doing that could affect the way you actually do things. Just because you believe that you won $1 billion in the lottery doesn't mean you actually did win the money. But if you act like you did and you spent a whole bunch of money that you don't have, it's going to have major consequences, especially down the line.
Waning moons all have different ways to help you in your spell work. So let me know if you guys have any more questions with that. I will go more into full detail of the moon phase.
Epistemology and scientific testing is a great way to make a buttload of money, especially by proving the supernatural, by proving that magic exists. You'd be able to make so much money. You'd be the most well-known person throughout history, discovering magic and the supernatural forever. But I'm assuming you're either too humble to help people and as society as a whole, or you're not really sure if what you believe is true and you're just trying to make a quick buck. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a stupid YouTuber with a lame hat. and this cupcake candle. Oh my joy.
And the days of the week in other videos to help you guys out with more of your spell casting. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and also if you've written any spells recently that may or may not have worked for you. And yeah, please subscribe. Thanks.
So, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. Hit that bell notification, so you can get notified anytime I make a new video. Hit that like button. Leave a comment what you think about this video, what other video you want to see me do in the future, or if you like my wand I have right here, or if you want to know more about these candles my brother makes. Leave a comment, hit subscribe, don't forget to share it. Hope you have a great day. See you next time, humans. I'm out. Peace.